think this is the last video on why I don't like the LGBT. And this is not to be confused that I don't support gay or trans rights. I just don't support LGBT because of two main reasons. Maybe it's one reason, but basically one. Um, um, they essentially have a very forced narrative of being very self-imposing ideology on people. It's almost like a dogmatic religion in a sense if you compare Christianity or Islam or that stuff. And that's really why. And number two, um, I support civil rights, for gay or trans, in terms of organizing anti-discrimination things, leave them alone and such. Don't be an ass to people. Don't be rude. Try to treat people like normal. Try to be nice to people. Just don't harass people. Don't be rude. That type of stuff. Leave them alone. Don't be a douche. Don't just because people are different. And I support that. But the way that the LGBT does it is as unlike other civil rights activists, they are very much a forced narrative and self-imposing ideology, and that's why I don't support it. And it feels like it has a very huge lobbying, and it's almost like a very big thing where it has to be very self-imposing. Because you can fight for something and not be in your face about it. So it's not like I hate seeing it. I mean, I don't mind seeing it, but there is something about some certain space that you have to respect. But yeah, maybe you could argue, what about the whole straight thing in cinema? Okay, fine. Make it. I don't mind if you want to make moves like that. But there is something about being massively obnoxious and very forced in your face. So that's why I don't support LGBT, because it's a very self-imposing ideology. It's not so much about it's not so much about trying to leave us alone. It's more about we have to be here, and we are gonna present ourselves in a very obnoxious manner, so you gotta accept that. So that's basically what the LGBT is like. It's not about so much well, you can't handle the gay and the trans community. No, I can handle it. I just can't handle the whole self-imposing stuff. That's really why I don't mind being challenged on such certain stuff. I just don't want the whole culture to be around, just being very obnoxious. And that's why I don't like the LGBT. I think it's authoritarian too, because it kind of has a very power button of if you question it, then you kind of are you kind of are just thrown back in a sense. Can't because that's the thing with power. You have to kind of find a way to challenge it and start a movement or something. Because if you can't challenge it, then you are basically got thrown back in a sense. Because that's how a power works in terms of free speech. You gotta fight for it. But yeah, that's my final video on why I don't like LGBT. I support gay and trans rights. I don't support LGBT, however. It's just a very obnoxious movement. But yeah, thank you for listening and bye. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to mention one more thing too. It's also tied to Marxism, so yeah, you should kind of see how it's not neutral either. I mean, a normal civil rights group will be neutral and just fight for the rights. So yeah, that's kind of tells you something. But yeah, thank you for listening and bye.